All right, everybody, we've started recording. So again, welcome to the follow-up webinar. This is the second one I have done in the last couple of months. Usually I would change the topic on it, but you guys have asked me to do another one. So here we are. Um, a lot of you are my trainees. Some of you may not be. So I'll cover as much of this as I possibly can. The first thing I'm going to do is kind of tell you guys and whoever is in here that doesn't know who I am or what we do here, what we do. So I'm going to share my screen. If you guys wouldn't mind letting me know if you can see it. I'm assuming you can. Let me open up the chat. There we go. All right, let me rearrange my screen and stuff here too. All right, perfect. So guys, for those of you who don't know who I am or what I do, so the Social Agent Group was created in 2016. I developed a process for lead generation that was solely for me to use as an agent. Long story short, a lot of agents found out about uh, the success I was having. Kept asking me to train, and at that point, this was not a training. I didn't even know what it was, and it just kind of got big, and I started training, created the group to centralize everything, and then it just kind of went from there. So in this group, we've got tons of my trainees, a lot of other people that have joined it. Kind of look around. You guys see a lot of the posts going into the group for reviews and things like that. And then, over time it kind of became just that, right? Just tons of reviews, right? And it got to the point where people weren't commenting and posting stuff. And I want you all to feel free to post your questions. If you need help with something real estate related that we can help with, do it. Especially if it's marketing or social media related, post it. Things like that. So the first 4 years I spent generating just buyer leads, because I'm not the kind of person that'll launch an ad into a group or sell it if it doesn't work. That's why you see all the great reviews in the group, is because I don't sell stuff that doesn't work, and I want to make sure that they work very well. When I got sick a few years ago, I had a lot of time on my hands, a lot of time in recovery, and I spent a lot of that time online trying to figure out how to generate seller leads. I hit the nail on the head with that recently, in the last year or so, and that's why you see a lot of talk about the listing ads and things like that. Last year, I think it was 21 listings, uh, 22 million in volume on $7,500 in ad spend. And I'll actually go to, sorry, there's a fly flying around me, of course, right now. It's going to bother me while I'm on the phone with you guys, or on the webinar with you guys. But I generated a ton of leads last year. I think it was like 356, something like that. Let me try and find it so you guys can see. And of course, I had a lot of people, locally, that were like, "Well, we don't see your listings. Where are your listings at?" Blah 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 blah. Right, all this other stuff they were doing. I have a brokerage. I have teams. Whenever I get listings, I send them out to them. Obviously, I train all day long. I don't have time to go out and run around the city with buyers or deal with 25 sellers at a time. For some reason, my lead count's gone down. I don't know why it's not showing, but these were 356 leads last year. Is what I generated for just under $7,600. And again, 21 listings, 22 million in volume, closed and sold. A lot of my trainees do about 10 to 15 listings right now. We don't have a ton of data because I just started it. I just started selling those ads about 16 months ago. So I'm just barely running up on a year in data, but so far so good for everybody. Past clients, you can do refreshes. New clients, you can train with me and get the lifetime support and refreshes. And occasionally I'll give away free ads every now and again. Now, going into the part that we're all here for. People have asked, how are you closing that many deals? How are you able to do this? How are you able to, so on and so forth, all these things. I use a specific process. So whenever I get a lead in, I'll take you over to social CRM. So whenever I get a lead in, it comes directly into my system. And then my system sends them out an automatic email and text message. We also have people that will call. In this case, it would be you guys that would call your leads immediately, text them, stay on them. And then, of course, I use Smart Alto. You don't have to use that system to be successful, but I personally use it because for the cold leads, it puts a lot of pressure on the lead, and then whenever they respond, it gets picked up by a live ISA that holds a conversation with them and gets a call or a meeting scheduled for you with that client. That's why I like them. It's a never-ending cycle, but you can do that with your CRM as well. You just have to make sure that you keep them on drips. Then people ask, what are you doing with your leads that are 3 to 6 months old, 12 months old? A lot of my trainees will go, yeah, I've called them about 10 times and they're dead, so I just move on. Right? That's a terrible way of thinking when you're doing follow-up, or you're trying to convert a lead, because the national average is somewhere between 10 and 17 touches before the average lead will even respond to you. So that means 10 to 17 touches before they'll even say, hey, I'm interested, right? When you generate leads, you're going to get some that are going to be immediate, that'll work with you immediately. You're going to get some that'll say, hey, I'm 3 to 5 months out, 3 to 6 months out, 6 to 12 months out, whatever. You're going to get some that won't respond at all. They were just expecting you to send them a bunch of information and really not do anything with it. It's an average, right? And that's why the national average for a close rate is 3 to 5%, depending on how well you are as an agent. A follow-up, and I'll get a lot of trainees that'll say, what could I expect to close from your system? I mean, I can't answer that question for you, right? A lot of lead generators are guys out there, the fly-by-nights that show up and pop up and sell this stuff and tell you they know what they're doing. We'll tell you, oh yeah, man, you should be closing at least 10 out of every 100 leads. That's bullshit. It's not going to happen. And the reality is, you are only going to close deals if you work the leads. I can't close deals for you. I can generate quality leads for you, but I can't close them for you. I can't tell you if a person that you're talking to on the phone is going to like you. I can't tell you if what you're doing to follow up is going to work or not. I can't tell you if you're doing enough calls. Only you know what you're doing on your side. So, but I can tell you that the people that follow my system and then take my advice from a follow-up perspective, they tend to do pretty well. I'm going to answer a couple of questions here real quick, because it's going to lead me into the next point that I have to make. Dominique Lee, she said, is your CRM included with the ads buy? No, just like any other CRM, you're going to pay monthly for it. The difference between my CRM and other CRMs is I don't charge you a big upcharge for the text and emails. You load your account with funds and it pulls from there. It's not a use it or lose it type situation, and we don't force you to rebuy the package every month. But no, my training and ad setup is a one-time fee, and you get the training and ad setup. The software, the CRM software, again, just like any other company, there's a monthly fee for it. However, my CRM was built to include just about everything you could possibly need from a CRM perspective, and it was built specifically also to help you guys in this program, and it includes all of my drip campaigns, a direct connection to Facebook, so you don't need to spend extra money for Zapier and things like that. Victor Salas. Okay, so guys, this is the question that I was telling you that's going to lead me into my next point about lead generation. Victor Salas said, will my personal website work with this? And I'm going to catch a lot of you guys off guard when I say this, but I prefer you not to route these leads to a website where they can search for property once they've submitted their information. The whole goal when you are generating leads is to build rapport with these people, and you want them to become dependent on you. You want them to be using you for every little thing they need. That's the whole purpose of them working with you, right? Everybody wants to automate everything, but some things should just never be automated. Think about it like when a lot of you as my trainees have worked with me. If you messaged my inbox and you got an automated response, or I had ManyChat or something like that responding to your questions, you would hate that. A lot of you guys in this business was built on the personability and me working with you directly, and that goes the same for the people that you work with in your respective markets. Okay. So no, I don't want to send them to a website, because if you send them to a website, you give them the ability to search for homes in your area. And if you give them exactly what they're looking for right away, they have no reason to answer your call or talk to you when you are texting or calling them. So what I do is I like to generate the lead through lead forms on Facebook, and then I'll route them back to your Facebook page if they want to. But even still, 95+% of these people, they hit your ads, never click that view website button anyway. They click off and go back to what they were doing on Facebook to begin with. Victor, I hope that answered your question. So that was a long way of basically saying, no, you don't need a website for this. Nancy Miller, will this work with KV Core? Yes, this will work with just about any CRM, as long as it has a direct connection to Facebook or a way to route the lead, into into Facebook via Zapier. Pam, what CRMs will the ads work with? Or is it just that the CRM needs to work with Zapier? Again, it'll work with pretty much any CRM as long as it has a direct connection to Facebook or a connection via Zapier into Facebook. CRMs like Realty Juggler or certain brokerage built CRMs, they don't do very well. Like Command doesn't do very well. We had high hopes for that one, and it was a huge letdown. But most of them will work. I built my CRM for you guys to use if you want it. I don't, I'm not out there in the market trying to sell 50,000 user licenses on it. My main business is training, and over the years, I just heard so many complaints about CRMs. I decided to, me and my team decided to do something about it and build this. Guys, I'll answer some more of these questions about the CRM in a second, so I can finish talking about follow-up. So now, a lot of you guys have asked, hey, what scripts are you using to talk to these leads? And the answer is I do not use a script. Okay. Some of you may want to write this line down. You can pause the video as you watch it later and write it down. But you got to remember, when we're generating these leads on Facebook, these are hot leads. At the very least, they're warm leads, right? These are leads that came to you asking for a specific piece of information. These are not cold leads where you're just calling people and saying, hey, you want to buy a house? Hey, you want to sell a house? All right, that's not the case. They submitted their information to you willingly. So you need to treat them as such. Okay, so whenever I call a lead, like Victor, for example, since he's talking to me, let's say Victor submits his information into me and he wants to sell his home. It was a seller's ad that he submitted his information through. I'm going to call and I'm going to say, hey, Victor, this is William Hegmann. You submitted your information through my ad on Facebook about needing some information on selling your home. How can I help you? Right? When you pick up the phone and you call people and go, hey, this is William Hegmann and I'm from Realty Solutions and I do this and I'm so great and all this other shit, people are going to think you're a telemarketer and they're going to hang up the phone on you, because I guarantee you multiple times a day, you all deal with the same thing when you get those phone calls that you accidentally answer thinking they might actually be a client and they end up being a telemarketer. So what I'm doing with that line is I'm putting the ball back in their court. I'm immediately saying, hey, Victor, this is William Hegmann. You submitted your information to my ad about needing help selling your home. I've immediately put the ball back in his court and said, hey, you contacted me. And then I cap it off with, how can I help you? Because again, it puts the ball back in his court. It's like, now you've caught him off guard, like, oh, okay, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, and then they start talking, right? 9 times out of 10, they're going to start talking to you. Almost guaranteed. Okay. But again, when you call them and you talk like a telemarketer, or you script them and they can tell you're reading off of something, they're going to treat you like a telemarketer. And they're probably going to curse you out, or they're going to hang up on you, or they're going to block your number, or threaten to report you, so on and so forth. Okay. So guys, I don't really use this system much because I'm not actively out here, doing real estate. I do a lot of ad testing. I generate a lot of leads in my local market. I either send them out to my team or I throw them into Smart Auto and let them work them. Um, but as you can see, like if I go into my contacts, I can't show you a lot of stuff in here because there's a lot of contacts in here. I generate a ton of leads across the country for people who are looking for homes or looking to sell their home, testing my seller's ads. And those are the referrals that I send out to my trainees. Yes, you have to be a trainee to get them. If I don't have a trainee in the particular area I'm looking for, I will open it up to someone who's not a trainee. I do not charge trainee referral fees, but I do charge non-trainees referral fees. But as you can see, I've got 900,736 contacts in here. Okay. The first few are just me, my team, and some dummy leads, obviously, because I need to have these up here so you guys can't see my screen. I can't show people's confidential data on here. But as you can tell, we've worked quite a few leads. We've spent quite a bit of money on leads before. In fact, I posted a post about this the other day. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I have people ask me all the time, do you really spend a lot of money on Facebook, generating these leads? It always makes me laugh, right, when they do that. Because I mean, it's as if I'm lying, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of guys out there that lie. Well, here's the proof. See my name up there, right? There's my total ad spend. Okay, $371,199. That's not even all of it. It's probably it's more likely closer to a $500,000 because it's only counting ads that are currently sitting in the system. Over time, I have deleted tons of my ads, which once I delete that, it deletes the ad spend with it. So it gets removed from here. And actually, I'm wondering if I just go into my billing section here, if it'll show you guys my total. It's funny that I even have to do this, but I just want my trainees and I want you guys to see how serious this stuff is for me. Okay, I take this extremely serious. I spend a lot of money doing this stuff, testing these ads and making sure they're going to work for you guys. It doesn't show it here, but either way, $371,000 in spend is not something to balk at, right? And that's all stuff that we spent just testing and figuring out ads and figuring out what to do and making things better for you, right? And then we spend money on the follow-up side of it as well. Okay, we spend money trying to figure out what the best follow-up is. And again, it is call. A lot of my agents, when they hear me say what I'm about to say, will be like, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that. It's going to make me look crazy. Okay. And I'm sorry. Hopefully none of you guys are offended by my language, but I curse and it is what it is. But what I do works. So when you're following up on a lead, when they come in, I will call, text, and email that lead 2 or 3 times each the first day, 2 or 3 times again the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day. Then I might back it down to 2 times a day the next week, then 1 time a day the week after that. I am going to hit that lead as many times as I can, as quick as I can. And again, excuse my language, but I want to bother them so much that they're either going to say, hey, yeah, I submitted my info to you, or they're going to tell me to fuck off. And here's why I would prefer that. A lot of people get like butthurt when they hear a lead curse at them on the phone, or they get upset. Oh man, I had such a bad day because this lead cursed me out. Why? It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't do anything for you. Maybe it bruises your ego if your ego's that big, but just move on and continue to do business. Why do I like it when that happens? Because with as many leads as I generate, if I'm calling 50 leads a day or 100 leads a day rather, and 30 of those people already know that they are never going to answer the phone for me, they do not want to work with me, I need them to tell me to F off or don't call anymore or whatever, because then I can remove them from my system and I don't have to waste my time calling those people anymore. And without knowing that those people I've already decided they're never going to work with me. I mean, think about that from a time perspective. Okay. Let's say you are generating 100 leads, or you're calling 100 leads a day, and 30 of them are not going to speak to you. Okay. So in a week, that's 210 calls you've made. And in my case, I call them 3 times a week. So that's 630 calls I've made to those 30 people that are never going to speak with me. If it takes me, say, 30 seconds a call, $315, I'm wasting 5.25 hours a week calling those 30 leads that are never going to do business with me. Think about how much more time and how much more money, how much more time you free up and how much more money you make with those 5 hours. 5.25 hours a week is 21 hours a month. That's literally a half a week's worth of work that you're throwing down the drain by not following up enough for those people to tell you, yes, I want to work with you, or no, pissed off, I don't want to talk to you, get lost, whatever. Okay, does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions on what I just said? And I'm sure some people are over there not agreeing with what I'm saying, but I'm telling you, it works, and it works very well. And from a time management perspective, it's very, very good. I'm going to answer a couple of questions here while I'm waiting for people to comment on what I just talked about. Victor Salas also said, you mentioned you have campaigns. Am I able to edit them if I decided to use them? Yes, you can edit those campaigns no matter whether they are a text or an email. We have put together and tested our campaigns pretty heavily that we use in our system. So I wouldn't recommend you do it because we get a very, very high response rate on them. But if you do that, just know that you could diminish your results. And Victor, I don't take this the wrong way. I promise I'm not trying to be rude, but it works the same way on the ads. I will have an agent every now and again that will message me and go, hey man, I need help. What I'm doing is not working. My ads are not working. They're not, I'm not producing. And then I will build my ads for them. And then they'll go in there and they'll look at the ads and they'll go, oh shit, man, those things are ugly. I don't like them. They're too bright. They're too flashy. That's never going to work in my area. I need my brand on there. Let me give you guys some cold, hard truth. Okay. Those people don't give a shit about your brand. Okay. And that's just the cold, hard facts, right? You have never seen yourself a realtor's ad pop up on Facebook or an insurance agent's ad pop up on Facebook, and you said to yourself, I guarantee you, none of you in this room or none of you that are listening to this or have ever said, well, goddamn, that's some pretty good branding. I'm gonna click on William's page right now and go see what his business page is all about. No, you don't do that. And I can almost guarantee you that everyone listening to this has liked hundreds of pages on Facebook, liked their Facebook page so you could follow them or whatever. And I can also almost guarantee you that never in the past year or whatever it has been, have you ever been sitting in front of your phone or on your computer and thought to yourself, you know what? I'm going to go visit Amy Ice Cream's Facebook page today just because I fucking want to. Never have you done that, right? And that's just the reality. Those people do not care about having your logo on that ad. They don't care about having your face on that ad, right? All they care about is what you're offering to them, the information they want, and when they're going to get it. And then they submit their info, you call them, create their relationship, and do it like that. But here's what happens when people edit stuff. And Victor, this is not a shot at you about the campaigns. It just led me into the ad piece of it. I wouldn't mess with the campaigns either. Again, the drip campaigns, but it opened up the door for the ads. So a lot of people will go in and they will edit the ads. They will try to change a photo because they don't like it. They'll try to change my verbiage. My verbiage is structured in such a way that it follows a process that people kind of adapt or they interact with, right? When I'm talking through there, I'm calling them out, hey, home buyers or whatever, don't do this, right? I've created a problem for them. I give them the solution. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Can you afford to miss what I'm offering you here? I've created a sense of urgency and doubt, made them feel like they're going to miss out on something. And the photo that I use is always bright, always vibrant, always catches their attention, in which case some people say, oh, that's ugly. But you know what? I don't give a shit what people think is ugly because I'm generating leads at $5 a lead. You're generating leads at $25 a lead. I'm closing at 5%. You're closing at 0. That's why you called me. That's why you messaged me to help you. So trust the process when you're doing this. And I promise you, it will work out. trust the follow-up process as well. Cause I hear a lot of people comment on, or I see a lot of people comment on my follow-up videos and go, man, that's never going to work. That doesn't work. I don't need you to tell me it's never going to work. It works. I've been doing this for almost 8 years now, and I close a ton of deals, and I don't even do real estate full time. 21 listings last year, just testing ads, and I never left my office. Like, that's should tell you, what it's going to do, right? So AJ Minton, when you get a new lead, how fast do you get back to them? Within an hour, same day, as soon as you can? What have you seen work? That's what he's asking. I will tell you, AJ, that speed to lead is of the utmost importance. I think the national average data slightly changed this year, but it was leads that are contacted within the first 2 minutes of them coming in were 90% more likely to work with you as an agent than if you contacted them after 2 or 3 minutes. It drops by almost 60%. That's why it's important, it's imperative for you to have a good follow-up system in place. So when that lead comes in, boom, email, boom, text message, right? They get it immediately. Now they've got an immediate response from you, and they're typically going to respond back with, assuming you sent them a good email, text message. I mean, I'll see agents take that first text message, and the first text message I send out is the same thing I just read to you. Hey AJ, this is William Hegmann. Just got your inquiry about selling your home. How can I help you? But I'll see agents take that and they'll edit it and they'll add a fucking paragraph to it and put their signature at the bottom, and then the text message goes out and it's like this. All right. And you know what that person does? That person replies back, stop, or don't message me again, because they immediately think it's spam. It's so long they didn't even take the time to read it to even know what was being sent. Okay. Mike Downey said, finally, I've been saying that for years about agents. Brand is as a Fugazi. Yeah, Fugazi. Yeah, it really is. They don't, it's not bad to have a good brand once you're working with someone. It's cool, but nobody new to you cares about your brand. That's just the reality, right? Dominique Lee, she said, is there anything that we as trainees have to do to get the CRM up and running, or once we pay, is it ready to go? Dominique, that depends on which CRM you're using. If you're using social CRM, once you become a trainee, we set up all the drip campaigns, we do all the connections, we do everything for you. If you're using, say, KV Core or another one, some of them we can do those in, some of them we can't. We still do the connections for you, but we don't always do the drip campaigns in certain ones. Let's see. I hope that answers your question. Mike Downey. So on follow-up, they get the intro text, then you're calling them if you don't respond to that, or you're calling them no matter what. I'm calling them, texting them, emailing them no matter what, 3 or 4 times a day. Typically it's about 3. If I have time, I'll do 4. You're welcome, Dominique. Raul, yes, follow-up boss will work. I've always said Lion Desk was good, follow-up boss was good. That was also, that was before I had my own CRM there. Lion Desk sold to another company recently. It's not the greatest in my opinion anymore. Follow-up boss I like, but here's the problem with follow-up boss that a lot of their clients don't know. You can text back and forth with your leads as many times as you want manually, which means you can go into their system and you can write a text and send it. They let you do that. When you auto import a lead that comes in automatically, they allow you to send 1 text message automatically, and the rest of your drip campaign has to be email. They will not allow you to send text messages automatically through their system on a drip campaign, which in my opinion is stupid as hell. The 60 or 70% of emails get opened and read, but less than 2% of them, or it's either less than 1 or 2% of them actually get responded to. 99% of text messages get read, and I think it's 60+% of them to 70+% of them get responded to immediately, and almost 85% of them get responded to over the first 10 touches. See why that's a problem there? So if you're using follow-up boss and you're okay with not being able to have a text campaign, then yeah, it works fine. Share the charge for emails, calls, and texts. Calls are a little bit different because they go through the dialer. I think they're like a half a penny per minute or something like that, or a penny per minute. I can't remember the exact number. Emails and texts are a fraction of a penny. And again, we don't upcharge you on those. We just charge you what Twilio and SendGrid charges us. Other CRMs do upcharge those by 300 or 400%. And they sell those to you in packages, and they force you to buy a new package every month. We don't do that. Delisa Lipinski, I hope I'm saying that right. Can you integrate in the KW command? Yes, I can integrate in the KW command, but I do not work with their drip systems. Again, guys, so avoid trying to, reinvent the wheel. I did just re-record my training videos. Finally, I know a lot of you guys were waiting for that, and it wasn't because I didn't want to re-record them for you. It was because Facebook continued to change things in here, and they continue to change things on the Meta platform, changing the business pages. I didn't want to record a bunch of stuff and then have to re-record it next week and then the week after and then the week after. Okay, it's a lot of work to record those 6-7 videos, have them edited, have my information put on the front of them, re-upload them into Dropbox, and then let everybody know that the new videos are there. Too much work. Not so. I waited until they were done. Facebook told me they were finished upgrading all the major stuff, so the interface won't change. A few other things on the back end will change, but as far as the interface, nothing will look different. That's good enough for me to re-record. And they are done. They are uploaded. If you want those, message me and I'll send them to you as long as you're a trainee. Again, guys, if you're not a trainee, the videos are not for you. I don't give out ads. I don't give out free referrals, things like that. You have to be a trainee for that. Follow-up trainings, follow-up videos, webinars like this, those are for free. So those will be on my YouTube channel, Social Agent Network, and those will also be posted in the group with all of the other free content that we put in there as well. Trying to think of any other good information I can give you guys. I don't structure these follow-up webinars, guys. I talk to you just like I'm talking to someone who asked me a question sitting at a lunch table. That's just how I do things. So what other questions do you guys have? Because really that's what it boils down to. Generate the lead, bring it in, initial text message, lots of calls, lots of texts, bombard the hell out of them until they speak to you or tell you to piss off or whatever it is. If you want to implement or you have the funds and the marketing budget to implement something like Smart Auto, do it. I do not have an affiliate program with them. I do not work with them directly. I do not get paid by them. I simply use their system to help myself generate and close leads and generate responses from leads. So use them or don't. It's up to you. And then again, the way you approach these leads, do not script these leads. Just don't do it. And don't try to reinvent the wheel from an ads perspective. Okay. Let's see. A couple more questions. Victor Salas. Victor, you're asking all these questions. I feel like you're so close to home, maybe even next door. Let's see. What is your best ad running right now? And for training, is it just one ad? My best ad running right now, I have two: the seller's ad and the list of homes ad. That Victor's asking some great questions because it's leading me into things I need to remember to tell you. A lot of seller leads will come through buyer's ads, with the exception of leads that come through the first-time home buyer ad. Okay. 50 to 60% of the people that come through a buyer's ad are going to be individuals who have homes to sell first. And with the exception of death, divorce, and moving out of state, most of those people are going to need to sell a home and buy another home first. So they're going to come through a buyer's ad first and ask about where they're, because people don't just sell their home and go and look for what they want after they sell their home. They can't do that. They have to find where they want to go, look for houses first, and then figure out who they're going to use to sell their home. So you always want to use ads like list of homes and home buyer benefits or new construction to bring in those sellers that might be looking at buyers ads first. Okay. But right now, list of homes and the sellers ads are doing the best. What kind of ads? And also you get 8 ads with my system. You get my top 8 ads. Victor asked that question just a second ago. And you also get lifetime support and lifetime refreshes, which I didn't offer before. Nancy Miller, what kind of ads do you find are working well now? Again, new construction, list of homes and seller right now, but that also changes as the market changes. Mike Downey, through your testing, what is the initial ads? $20. It's been $20 to $25 a day. Recommended ad spend per day per ad. It's been that way, and I can't imagine it's going to change anytime soon. Dominique Lee, guys, I'm going to answer all these questions as we go forward. I recommend you guys sit on here and listen to these because there's some good questions. Then I'm going to end the webinar after that because I've covered everything I can cover on from a follow-up perspective. Dominique Lee, what did you recommend we have funds for? You don't get paid. You don't get paid by whom and who are. I'm not following the question. What did you recommend if we have funds for? You don't get paid by whom and who are they? Can you rewrite that for me? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking me there. Delisa Lipinski, what type of lead conversion are you seeing for your Facebook ads and what monthly budget do you recommend? I covered that a second ago. The average agent's doing 3 to 5%. So 3 to 5 out of every 100 leads are following up. But again, I'm not the kind of person who's going to sell you something and sell you bullshit either. There are agents out there that close absolutely no deals, and that always boils down to them not following up properly. If you are, the leads I generate are quality. You can see that from the group. You can see that from the thousands of reviews in there. People close a lot of deals. But if you're not willing to put in the work and work these leads and close them and continue to follow up to get them to close, then you're going to fail. And that's just plain and simple lead gen and follow up and how things go. But if you work the leads and you follow my advice and you do what you're supposed to do, 3 to 5% is what you can expect. AJ Minton, my apologies, but where will this? I will. This is recorded on Zoom, so I'll download the video a little bit later and I'll re-upload it to the group. And I'll also save a copy on my YouTube channel. Christy, I always feel like I'm gonna mess your name up. Is it? I don't know if it's Bican, or Bacan, or I know I'm not the only one that does that. Let's see. Smart Auto is what he is asking about. Let's see. I'll still wait for them to retype that question. Let's see. Okay, Smart Auto is again, it's a text-based ISA service. Again, you route your leads into the system, and then a drip campaign will start. When a lead responds to that, a live ISA, a live person picks up that conversation, holds a conversation with them, and then either schedules a call for you or for a certain time or schedules a call back for you to call them back. Heather, I'm assuming it's NAR. Do you leave voicemails when you call and they don't answer or just text? I just hang up and text. I don't leave voicemails. I probably have 40 voicemails in my own inbox that I don't listen to. In fact, when you call my phone, it says, if you leave a voicemail, I'm not going to respond to you. I don't check my voicemails. And I think a lot of people are like that too. Okay, let's see. So once you've helped download the ads to our ads manager, you're recommending just turn them on and off as you see fit and not change anything about them. That is correct, 100%. Do we need to edit them to add them to our CRM? If you change CRMs to a different CRM after you train, you have me set them up and do all the work on one CRM. If you're changing them to a different CRM, yes, you can do them on your own. That's what the videos are for. If you want us to do it, we do charge for that because it's a whole new set of integration work that we have to do. Let's see, Kathy Hart, as a general rule of thumb, how long does it take to start seeing leads come in once everything is all set up and running? A few days? Yeah. It can take, 24 hours. Usually we'll get you one or two. It depends on if you change the daily budget. Again, I recommend running at $20 a day per ad. Certain areas are a little bit more difficult. After about a week, if we don't see a decent cost per lead, I'll go back in and change the photo, edit the area, refresh the ad, and make sure things are running smoothly. Let's see. Joelle Papalardo. When you say drip campaign, what are you referring to? Oh, she said I just answered her. So got it. So you got that. Brittany, how do we make sure we are getting those new training videos as well? I've posted in the group and emailed if you're already on my email list that the new videos are available. All you've got to do is just shoot me a message and I'll forward them over to you to your email address, because we just have to verify that the people requesting them are actually already trainees and not just people trying to get a hold of them on their own. Victor, let's see. On average, how many leads can you get from your ads? Let's say a month. Depends on the budget. I mean, I would say if you're spending, say, $400 a month, $100 a week, depends on what area you're in. You're looking at, somewhere between $5 and $10 a lead on average, depending on time of year and what type of lead you're using. So Arizona, is what Victor said. Typically 8 to 12, $13 a lead probably. So, I mean, you look at 20 to 40 leads somewhere in there a month on that kind of budget, just running one ad at $20 a day, 5 days a week is where I would say you're at. That's typical for Arizona. But if that changes from area to area. Southeast Florida, $5 to $7 a lead. So you're probably looking at 60, 50 to 70 leads, something like that on average in that area. Guys, I'm not going to answer that for everybody who posts their city and state, but I answered those too. Typically around the country, the average is somewhere between $8 and even up to $15 per lead, depending on what area you're in. California is going to be higher. New York's going to be higher. Most of the other areas are going to be around the same type of deal. Yeah, Christy, that's correct. That's what I just answered. It's an ISA text-based company. They do not call on the ads. They text the ads as a text-based company, and then they'll send them over to you once they have a response. Yeah, exactly, James. I mean, certain areas, certain parts of the country, even California, certain parts of California run higher, but just look at James, what James just said. He's in SoCal getting $5 leads. I'll be on the lookout for that review to go up soon too with those numbers. I know we just launched your ads like less than a week ago too, so that's good, dude. Welcome aboard, and I'm glad to see that's working well for you. All right, let's see. Last question here. I'll answer a few more questions. I've got a little bit more time. On my Facebook page, everything I post is set up like an ad. No, that's just Facebook trying to get you to spend money. They're asking you to boost the post because they want you to spend money, and so their system makes money. Do you do this ad campaign for individual? I do it for individuals, teams, and I'm not allowed to tell you the names of the companies I work with, but I work with one of the largest I work with the largest brokerage in Canada. I do all of their marketing, so I do it on a company level as well. All right, so I'm going to wait maybe 60 more seconds, see if any more questions come in. If not, I'm going to end this webinar, and then I'll repost it and upload it to YouTube here in a little bit. Hey, Raul, yeah, please do. I've got a couple more spots left for February. I had 2 more people rescheduled this morning out to April. I have 1 or 2 in March, and then I'm almost booked for all of April. Let's see. You guys are very, very welcome. I'm going to go ahead and end this now. And thanks again, Kathy. I appreciate that. If you guys have any questions, please message me on Facebook, and I'll respond to you as soon as possible.